Hey nappers, it's been a long time since I posted anything on YouTube, and I'm inspired because my friend Freeze Cracked has put up some really good instructional videos. And for those that aren't on Paleo Planet and haven't been following through different avenues but get my channel, I wanted to direct some of you there. He does traditional flint napping, abo flint napping, and does work with copper. And he's at the stage of his napping where he's well beyond beginner. He's very competent and has a diverse napping background. And he's at the stage where I think a lot of guys are going to benefit from his instruction, the kind of edges that he's hitting, his familiarity with the tools and the stage that he's at. There's some types of napping that I do. One, my videos are so, pretty poor quality, and it's hard to see some of the edges and some of the later stage stuff, and I'm hitting edges that a lot of guys can't make, and if they did, they're not familiar hitting, so it doesn't communicate well to the beginners, a lot of my stuff, but his do. So I want to send you there. And also, I saw a safety video, and one thing he didn't mention is that if you nap indoors, wear one of these. I didn't used to. I grew up chipping in my mom's basement, and I've chipped a lot of raw chert and not obsidian, and I don't know what the difference is, but my lungs, I definitely breathe in. I don't think it's probably what's going to get me in the end, but I notice when I get respiratory issues, it takes me a lot longer to get over than it used to. And even napping outdoors, I just never wear anything. I'm going to start on still days even wearing this outdoors because I'm breathing in a ton of hammerstone dust and little flint flakes. And so anyhow, if you do a lot of napping, don't be paranoid about it if you just nap on the weekends here or there. If you are teaching Cub Scouts on the weekend and you hear me say that, don't be worried that you need to have them sign waivers and or get sued because they're gonna, come back in 30 years and tell them that you gave them silicosis. But it is something to be concerned about. And updates. My website. www.flintnappingtips.com. I let it go. I didn't renew my domain name because I didn't mess with it, and I probably should have said something. It runs off of Flash, and it's a really inconvenient website, and you need to do a new one. So, if you're wondering about that, I don't know how much traffic I've been getting there. I put a lot of videos in there that I didn't put on YouTube, and some of them were kind of neat, but they were shot really low quality. So, maybe I'll get that back up. But you know how I am. I love napping, but I'm sort of scatterbrained like a lot of us nappers are. We like to do our little projects and what we've got going on, and it's I'm not the kind of person that is real organized about my projects, hence why I haven't finished my vertical punch video and my hog eye cache stuff. I haven't actually been working on the hog eye cache stuff, but I've been wanting to get back into it. I've got all my nice Curtis Smith Georgetown safe back. If you need Georgetown flint, contact Curtis Smith, Kurt's Shirts. He's a really good guy. And so I need to do that and some other stuff. But anyhow, I'd apologize, but it wouldn't do any good. I'm going to do it again. I'm just like that. So anyhow, the name of Jerry's channel is for Freeze Cracked. I'll put a link in the description. And go over there and check it out. And he's retired now, so all he has to do is flint napping videos and chip rocks and go on rock trips. His wife doesn't have him doing any chores, and he's got nothing else going on in his life besides taking care of his 26-year-old cat, Moots. Actually, I don't know how old his cat is, but that's all he's got going on. So you can send him tons of emails, and he'll get right back to you, because that's all he does, chip. Anyhow, I'm just joking, obviously. Well, since I'm here and the camera's on, maybe I'll... And then my buddy Raphael sent me something. In his video, he mentioned that this friend in Mexico sent him some hammerstones, and he sent me some too, and I've got to send him some rocks still. It's another one of my things I need to check off the list. So look at this cool, giant, honkin' neat spaller. So let's get him a box of rocks put together, and you can imagine some soothing music. And I won't put my mask on. So sit back and enjoy the crackety, crickety, crispy sound of a nice honking piece of harvester getting annihilated by mankind. I don't think I can make that more dramatic. So let's look. There's a little seam crack here. The outside rind is pretty soft. If you look at the profile in the bright light, you can see different areas are a little bit softer in here, but it's pretty good even stone still. And this can be chipped raw or cooked. Let's make some nice balls. Crack does. A little seam. Spalling big rock is fun. Don't get to do it too often. So let's take this. Since we know this is mostly waste material here, let's take a corner flake off here. And that we'll just throw away. Now next to it, here, that'll be a nice little spall. I think I already did a video like this a long time ago. I think I took it down because it was all mangled up. Support it underneath. Look for my spot on the hammerstone. When I teach people how to nap with hammerstones, a lot of times I hand it to them, and they don't. I've got a nice little friendly spot, and guys that there's some guys that are really getting really good at hammerstones now, and when I see them in their videos, turn their hammerstone around, like Lucas Nicholson has gotten really good with hammerstones. He's his YouTube channel, I'm embarrassed to say I don't know. I think it's just Lucas Nicholson. Anyhow, when you see somebody who's familiar with hammerstones, you know what spot they're going to turn it to because they have a nice little facet. And when I teach, it's sort of frustrating because you hand them the hammerstone and of course they don't know because they haven't practiced, but finding that nice little comfortable spot on there is really important. And that's why copper is more friendly because it's uniform. But you can take nice little flat spalls off with the hammerstone and actually break less of them on certain edges than you would with copper because you can direct it straight in and blow. It's a nice little spall for Raphael. Put that in the spall bucket. Let's see where the next one would be. On a one piece like this, it's super wide, so unless I'm going to make something like a notch toe or a spade, I can think about losing a little bit of width. I think I can get about 3 more good spalls off here. The corner is pretty bad. I want to try to keep the length. I see this little crack right here. You probably can too. So I'm going to chip it off. Is there a point in there? Curtis Smith could make a dagger out of that. Ed Mosier could too. Some of you guys who are shy about doing videos because you're going to sound like an idiot, like I think I sound like, don't worry about it. If you think you can help somebody, kind of check your ego at the door and turn the camera on and do it. You know, we are who we are, and you know, we're all gonna hit bad platforms and say silly things. So if you're shy, you just gotta unshy yourself. Oh, a little higher. What happens when you hit it twice but the cortex is soft? That's going to be tricky to nap, but it'll nap. I used to kind of just blow through early stage work. You know, when I thought that I was napping really fast, and I'd start with a big rock and I wouldn't be concerned about being as conservative, and I'd sort of just blow through it. Now anymore, I really enjoy taking my time and working the work, moving spalls and trying to keep them together. And that one, I wish that I hit that a little bit. I wish that I'd sported that a little better and caught that a little higher. I would have got that flake to go longer, but it's a okay spall. Now I think I'll be able to catch this and do another kind of medium-sized one. Hit it right. There we go. It's just thick enough to do something with. It's snowing out there right now. And I'm glad, because I have a water line leak, and I've been digging up my front yard. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to spot it with the melted ground. We're in the shitty water. Let's get a little one here. Oops. Turn my hammerstone. See the hammerstone spalled off a little bit there? It's going to make a weird spot, so I'm going to turn. I'm going to get it right up here. There. It'll make a sort of curve, but it'll chip a pretty nice point. Alrighty, right there. If you have somewhere to go ahead and stop this video and go check out Freeze Cracks. Because I'm not doing anything real. I was going to say superlative. And then see, that'd be like going back to being worried about sounding like an idiot. Some of the words that I use. Whatever. No. Okay, maybe. This is getting kind of flat, but it would be nice to get. It'd be nice to get a couple more smallish ones. There's a little crack right here. I need to get out smaller one second. It's a little chalky right in the middle there. If it's junk in the middle, just kind of use the middle and move it over, because it's going to be, when you move to the soft hammer on this stuff, it'll get really crunchy. Sort of. There. This would be fun to nap with wood. Maybe I should get out the wooden club and stuff is just soft enough it would probably do a good job with the wood. Let me try wamping that with the big. Pete Davis gave me a giant billet I haven't used the dog with. Where is it? Up there. Let's see what it does. Almost knocked myself over in the foot pile. This, I haven't even used this one. I know I got a different one I've been using and got a spot on it. Ready to go. I don't know. I need a knobby knob. I wonder if I could catch it high and hit there. No. Where's it? Part of that spot. I wish I had a knob toward the end more. Need to find my better. Actually, this is a good one to beat up on because it's so early stage. I can't hurt this wood club right now. Hammerstone. Wood platforms would be like wider and leaner, meaning the edge would be thinner, meaning the angle will be gradual and not steep. If you think of every platform as a hill you have to climb up, let's say we're little people here and we got to walk up the edge, the general rule is the easier it is to walk up, that means the softer a hammer you can use. Like obviously, if it was really steep, if we hit that with wood, we'd have to hit it right at the bottom, or we may not be able to release a flick and hit it high with a hammerstone. But this isn't really a good hammerstone platform because it's so long. And the reason why is because the wood will compress when it hits this edge. It'll load up, and the moment that it strikes, it sort of sinks in, and then it peels the edge off, what's called a lip flick. So it'll initiate a break that tears the edge away and then peels the flake off. Whereas a hammerstone, it doesn't deform and displace the force. The hammerstone will hit higher, and then the force is more harsh and radiates. So you get, the higher you hit, in order to establish a plane, depending on the contours, the forces will cause that flake to split or break, and you can actually cause fractures that start in the middle of the stone by hitting too high on a plane with a hard hammerstone. But if at the right angles down on a steep edge, hammerstones work great. So this is a good wood platform. This is not a very good, I'm not used to using that build. So where's my, anyway, who cares, let's just try to hit it. Still needs some abrasion with wood, but not as much. When I first saw James Parker napping with wood in Ohio in like the mid-90s, I thought he was nuts, you know, but I was just ignorant. Now there's some guys that are doing some really good replication on some of the eastern broad spears with different kinds of wood billets. They're on Paleo Planet if you want to go check them out. I wish that somebody would, like James would make a wood video. I guess I could, but I feel like a imposter. Let's see. Anyway, I think that's enough. I need to get a different wood billet to flake this down, but I've got some spalls for Raphael. I did some spalling and send you over to Freeze Crack's channel. I think everybody else pretty much knows about everyone else. Lately, there haven't been flint napping videos been posted on YouTube, and they've been real sporadic and spread out. And so they've been harder to find. The new format that YouTube has done with its Google stuff, I don't even get my messages and comments. I gotta go to the videos to look and stuff. It's really a pain in the butt. I don't like how they structure stuff. But anyway, go check out Freeze Cracked. And you know, for those of you who are getting somewhere or made a breakthrough in napping, if you want to share it. If you've been napping 2 years and the light bulb went on and you know something happened, there's a lot of other beginners that are below you that you can help out. You know, there's edges and things that you're doing that more advanced nappers skip around because they've sort of worked through that. But if you try to get too far ahead of people, they might not be able to relate. So for those of you who think, well, I'm not as good as those guys and they're just great, and I'll be embarrassed or whatever, don't be. You know, it's only hitting rocks. And it's fun, and everybody end snaps and breaks, perverse fractures, and looks a fool, you know. So shoot it and put it up, and if you want to, and you know other people can benefit from it. All right, that's all I gotta say. Everybody have a good day.